Hello, everybody. It is April the 11th, 2021. Right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel, WrestleMania Night Dos, Night Zwei, Night Foreign Language for the English number 2. Yes, that's what has happened. It happened, it ended about a half hour ago, so we had to collect our bearings and everything, get all set up so we can talk about it with you guys right now. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and the host of Wrestleview Weekly, which would air here every Sunday afternoon around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to go over all the stuff with the wrestling throughout the week. But not doing that because WrestleMania just happened. And so it's kind of a big deal. It's a really big deal. But we're mainly focusing on night 2 and maybe encompassing the entire WrestleMania week. We'll go ahead and say that. God, 20 hours of WWE programming is finally over. It's finally done. And so here to help me parse through the debris to try to put back our house in order is the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mr. Mike Tedesco. Mr. Mikey, how are you?
I'm doing good, Doug. I'm doing good. I have not yet successfully navigated this week. I still have Raw tomorrow, and NXT's moving to Tuesdays, which is actually better for me to recap than Wednesdays was. So I got a little time left of wrestling, but I'm still standing, man. I'm still standing.
Oh, that's good.
Pumped up to do this podcast, man. We had a good podcast last night, so I have another good one tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about on this show, though. Actually,
lots of stuff.
Even more than last night.
Oh, wow. Oh,
there was a lot to talk about last night in terms of like. We'll get to it.
Well, yeah. We'll dip into some of the things with night 1, but mainly centering around night 2 is what we're dipping into here. But first, as always, I've got to get the pleasantries out of the way first because, they're going nuts in the chat room. We got to acknowledge them even though they aren't the head of the table. If you're in the chat room now, you say, wee! If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. Who else in the chat room? I saw Quentin. I saw Andrew. I see Grash. I see Nafis. He's got 3s in this wee. I can't go wee 3. I can't do. Well, I just did that. I see Jamel. I see Mediocre Lewis. I see Mashoon. I see. Come on. I know y'all want to do it. There's Tyler. There's Demetrius. Come on. You guys are. Come on. I know you're craving for attention just like Burden is. Come on. You know you want to do it. There you go. I see Graham. Oh, because that's a long name. Billy Hefner's in there. He's going, wee! Who else? I'll go ahead and I'll interrupt Mike during the other show whenever you guys come in. Oh, and Sexy Hug Command Meat Lewis is in there. And Daniel is in there. Everyone's going, wee! And I need to take a breath. All right, Mike.
That was a WrestleMania intro, Doug.
Oh, it was. Oh, yes. Oh, and Bryan Farmer. Who cares about him? No, I'm kidding. No, Bryan. He says wee. All right, Mike. All right, Mike. Go ahead. Why don't you give us a quick recap, quick results of the wrestles of the Mania.
Okay. All right. So night 2 of WrestleMania 37 kicked off with everybody's favorite feud, Randy Orton versus The Fiend, and Randy Orton went over on The Fiend with an RKO.
Yeah.
Okay. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeat Natalya and Tamina via referee stoppage to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I believe it was Shayna Baszler choked out Natalya, if memory serves correct.
Yes.
Kevin Owens defeats Sami Zayn, and afterward, Kevin Owens gives Logan Paul a stunner.
I still don't know what a Logan Paul is, but whatever.
I'm still lost myself. Sheamus defeated Riddle to win the WWE United States Championship. Apollo Crews defeated Big E in a Nigerian drum fight to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Ironically, there were Nigerian drums at ringside, and they never used them. They just used kendo sticks and a table. So there was that.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship. And Roman Reigns defeated Daniel Bryan, and Edge pinned them both in the ring after hitting each with a concerto to retain the WWE Universal Championship.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of.
Now that I just read through that, and I'm looking at WWE's like logic and like in their minds, the Fiend is a face somehow. Not sure.
I don't know. All that I know is Dabba-Kato off the milk carton.
Yeah,
He coming in for the assist to Apollo Crews. So yeah, that came out of absolutely nowhere.
Right.
Juan and Randy in the chat room insist I acknowledge them. Wee! Okay. When it comes to our predictions for WrestleMania week, we predicted all 22 booked matches that were on the card last week, encompassing all 2 days of NXT Stand and Deliver and both nights of WrestleMania. Of those 22 matches, we went a collective 14-8 is what we went. Yeah, 14-8. Thankfully, of those 8 losses, only 4 of them were locks. If I'm looking at that right. Yes. 4 of them locks. What does that mean? Well, whenever I get a prediction that's wrong that I have locked, I have to take a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. So 4 shots of tequila is what I owe on my show, Wrestleview Weekly, that will be coming up in the weeks to come. But until then, I'm not going to take any tequila tonight because I got to be sober to talk about the show. What the heck is wrong with my feed? I am showing the inner workings. There we go. All right, there we go. Is that right? Yes, that is right. Okay, so... You still with me, Mikey? You're frozen in time. Oh, now you're not. You're moving now. You know, most wrestling podcasts, when they recap a pay-per-view, they talk about, you know, what should have happened, what could have happened, and why the show stunk. But not on this show. The first thing we talk about is something positive, something worthwhile, something memorable of this pay-per-view. Mike, what is your one good thing about tonight's WrestleMania Night 2?
Oh my god.
Oh wow, it's a tough one.
I have to say, like, the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match, just for knowing their backstory and knowing how far they came, and like last night, one of the cool things that we talked to us last night on the show was that when we had the rain delay, it was
more of a lightning delay, wasn't it? Though it was more of a lightning delay.
Yeah, but it was also raining out.
Well, yeah.
Sacks. It was Cole and Samoa Joe in the ponchos and stuff like that. Sorry, that's our steps.
Yeah.
They had them in the ponchos. Yeah. The Kevin Owens promo was excellent, and it's such a shame that, like, right in the middle of it, his microphone died or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was cutting a great promo to set this match up, so it got me kind of amped up to see this match. So he went through their whole entire backstory. I thought the video package was well done too. Kevin Owens talked about how industry experts told him they never succeed, and here they are having a match. 2 really close friends having a match on WrestleMania. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought they had a very good match. It was crisp. It was probably the best thing, other than the main event, obviously. This was probably the best match on the show for me. But it could have used another 5 minutes, I thought. I actually thought when it ended, I was like, really? I was just kind of really getting into it. But they had to do the stuff with Logan Paul. I am not entirely sure what Logan Paul added to this.
I don't know either. I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know what his name recognition is. And once again, like I usually say at the end of my shows, it's know who you're being sold to. Apparently, we're not being sold to when it comes to Logan Paul. Okay, that is to a crowd that knows who Logan Paul is. So I don't know. I mean, if it's a YouTube celebrity and people watch his stuff, I
Right.
don't know.
I'm just not, but like in term, I'm just not sure what he brought like to the show tonight. I mean, like I didn't even think it was like really super well promoted. Like it was on
No,
SmackDown, yes, but like Bad Bunny was like that's a major get.
that's a different celebrity entirely.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a legit mainstream celebrity.
Yeah,
Now,
Grammy award winning, globally known, big deal. Okay.
yes. But I mean, Logan Paul. I mean, I know the name. I think he had something. There was like something to do with like he. I remember him getting like Billy Hefner told me that he got heat for like something with a dead guy or something like that. But like didn't really go too much into that. I kind of know the
Yeah.
story, but that's it. Victoria shouting that he used to be on Vine. I don't know what that means either, but yeah,
I guess, yeah, the stuff that I do know about him is that it's more controversial stuff, but I
yes,
don't
yes.
know what he does. Okay,
Yeah.
he sounds like the Kim Kardashian of YouTube to me.
I would say that that's fair. I would say
You
that
know.
that's extremely fair. And yeah, but I really liked the match. Like Logan Paul played nothing into the match. He was just kind of there making faces, which I didn't mind at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamel Suicide Forest in Japan. That's the one. Yeah, he did something that and like kind of violated a body or something like that. Of something like he actually found somebody who committed suicide in Japan and like something crazy. Like so this isn't like a good dude.
Yeah.
In my view. But anyway, he's got a platform, and they want to tap into that platform, I'm sure. But if you're gonna compare celebrity appearances from night one to night two, that was on the low end of the spectrum there.
Yeah, as far as like Bobby the Brain would always say, is like comparing ice cream to horse manure. I mean, yeah, there's a big difference.
Well,
Okay.
that's kind of the comparison for the entire night compared to both nights.
I mean, I'm glad you kind of brought up the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match, and yes, we're going to talk about all the other matches on the card, please, But I'm really glad you brought this up because I equate Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and their matches and everything, and the frequency that we've seen them practically to Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler had at least 2,000 matches within the span of 2 years or 3 years, whether they were title-based or not.
Yeah, I saw them live.
Okay.
I remember going to a SmackDown taping in 2009, and it was Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Then I went to a house show a year and a half later, and it was Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, and so when I think of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I'm going, okay, this is match number 4,175 that they have done throughout their careers with each other, their best friends, yada, yada, yada. Is this, and you were saying you wish that it had 5 minutes. Is this their best match they've had in the WWE?
That's I mean, like individually or just together?
Well, just together. Those two together in the ring,
Together, other than like the night that Kevin Owens debuted at NXT TakeOver when his
that's what I was thinking is when he first powerbombed Sami Zayn into the apron in NXT for the NXT title, their NXT title match. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but then that match never happened. Actually, I think
Right.
they only had one match on the main roster, and they kind of mentioned it in the match. It was like Battleground 2016, which I have no recollection of.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have no recollection of it, that means that this is absolutely their best match that they've had in WWE.
I guess so. And what I found it was very easy to follow. It was incredibly easy to follow. There wasn't anything too overly contrived, because that's what sometimes I think of that in Kevin Owens matches. Some stuff that he does is so overly contrived, but this was just plain and simple. Let's not just have let's have a regular match, and we got some Joker on the outside just making facial expressions.
Exactly. I mean, they definitely took some high risks. I'm honestly like. Right now you're showing the brain buster on the apron.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a couple of innovative, dangerous things on the apron. But damn, when Sheamus taking German suplex and other people bumping on the apron, I got burned out on apron moves tonight. It seemed like every match had something involving the apron. And then we were invariably reminded that the apron is indeed the hardest part of the ring.
Always. We always are.
Every time. But I mean, if you're seeing it for the 7th time in one night, it's like, okay, yes, I know now. I know now. I truly, truly know now. It is the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah. Almost as much as Michael Cole reminding us where we were.
Oh, yeah. Well, Michael Cole had a rough night.
He had a very rough night.
He had a rough night last night where he botched the main event call for Bianca Belair, which bad time for that to happen.
Yeah, he pulled a Matt Striker on that one. Yeah,
he did. And then even actually there was a great moment in this match where Sami Zayn hit a really vicious looking Michinoku driver. I thought it was probably one of the best Michinoku drivers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole called it a Blue Thunder Bomb.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I perked up. I was like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
What?
I was like, wait, what? And then Corey Graves goes, Cole, I'm going to save you from the internet tonight. It's a Michinoku driver. That was a good line. That was a good line. That was my favorite part, Doug. What about you?
And also with this match, it was a joy to have JBL on commentary. It was an absolute joy to have him with Maggle during this match. Okay.
Go back in business.
Man. My favorite. Let me see. Yeah, I will go to the main event on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to. I got to preface some things first. First off, this is the fourth. I believe Roman Reigns has now main evented 4 of the last 5 WrestleManias.
Yes.
He has main evented 4 of the last 5 WrestleManias and won every one of them.
Are you yeah? Then WrestleMania 35 in 2019 was the women.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So it was the women there. I was thinking last 6 years. 4 of the last 6 years.
There you go.
Yeah, because last year we had McIntyre and Bork.
Right. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and then this
women,
year. Yeah.
Then yeah. So 4 of the last 6, Roman Reigns has main evented and won all of them. So I just want to say that first. Next off.
That's a good point.
Of the past 6 years, this was the best main event in the last 6 years. Okay. By far. I was at the edge of my seat throughout this entire match.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. Doors blown off the hinges. And we're just going nuts. All over, and the pace never let up. Jey Uso gets into the mix. He gets taken out of the picture. Then he gets brought back in. We've got our dueling submission spots. We've got guys getting taken out on the outside, only, of course, to come back into the ring to break up counts. This was your quintessential triple threat match. Probably, oh, God, I almost want to say one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen. But, man, do I need to really look back at some stuff to make that kind of a claim. But of the last 6 years, I want to say this was the best WrestleMania main event. Because, yeah, McIntyre, Lesnar was flat because we're inside a studio. We are in a studio setting. The women's main event, yes, as historic as we want to make it and make that a big deal, not really that good. We got to admit that. Roman Reigns, Undertaker, it was more of the same Undertaker match. It was your cookie cutter, Undertaker match. Roman Reigns, Bork, Laser. Again, we had to have it no DQ to kind of make up for some people's faults. And then Roman Reigns, Triple H, the desperation move to let us know that Roman Reigns is a big deal and we're supposed to cheer for him. Yeah, this match, even though I made all those complaints about the previous matches, this one just, again, I was on the edge of my seat throughout the entire time. I had no idea where this was going to go. And that's how you want your matches to be. That's how you want it to be. Oh, you're kind of breaking up on me there, Mike. Oh, Mikey's gone R2-D2 on me. Mikey, hold on. You're going R2-D2 on me there. There we go. He's got to fix his internet real quick. Yeah, there we go. Now you're back.
Am I? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Now you're back.
All right. So okay, good. What I was saying is that this is a really excellent main event. It was worthy of the title WrestleMania main event. And, if you look at these as all one long, continuous WrestleMania, like from night 1 to night 2, yeah, this would be a main event on a 7-hour pay-per-view. Like you would still put this on the 7-hour pay-per-view. The action was awesome throughout. Daniel Bryan is still one of the greatest baby faces maybe to ever lace up a pair of boots. Edge was really going out of his way, and like you could kind of tell that Edge was kind of going out of his way to kind of make up for the moment that he didn't get last year.
Yeah.
Like he got, like, of all things, he got robbed, like, big time. Like, I thought Drew McIntyre, I felt really bad for him that his moment got taken away. Everybody got their moments taken away.
Yeah.
Essentially. But, like, there's a couple guys that you're, like, really, really super rooting for, and Edge lost that. And on top of that, like, they did the best that they could in the Performance Center last year, him and Randy Orton, but it was a turd. It was way too long.
Way too long.
I think we just finished our discussion on how long that last man standing match was back in August. It's like it was long.
Yeah.
So he was awesome in this. He hasn't had a lot of time in the ring. He looked psychotic. Like Edge's mannerisms are.
He's got the crazy eye. He's got the crazy eyes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the crazy eye gif right now, and but he was awesome throughout. It's like it's believable too. It's not like it does look kind of cartoonish, but it's like it's still believable. Like you actually think there's a screw loose with this dude. And that's
God, look at this shot of Edge with the bar of the chair inside Roman Reigns' mouth. Look at this shot. Right here. This is everything pro wrestling right here. Okay? Look at this, kids. Okay? Right here. All right? The looks on their faces. That's how you do it. Right there. God, Roman Reigns wide-eyed too? Man, no, that's how you do it. Yeah, but Edge with the crazy eyes, Daniel Bryan just the quintessential babyface in peril. It was just a great match.
Yeah, and like really, other than like the finish, which it wasn't even a bad finish.
No,
it's not like I'm not like when I took to the to my thoughts on Twitter and really just kind of laid out like a long kind of diatribe about this event. It had nothing to do with like hating this match or anything. I actually loved the match. Like the very first thing I wanted to make clear was that this was good. They worked their asses off, and it was like just perfectly executed. It was a main event. It was a WrestleMania main event, no question about it. Daniel Bryan was on point. Edge was on point. Roman Reigns was an animal throughout this. It was great.
Even Jey Uso thrown in there. Oh
yes, even throwing Uso in there was really, really well done. The Uso stuff was he was used perfectly.
Yes.
And like a lot of people were like, oh, they kicked Jey out, or he got eliminated, and that means Jimmy Uso is going to come back. I hope Jimmy Uso comes back at some point because we haven't seen him since WrestleMania 36.
Yeah.
How bad is his name?
I don't know. I mean, I know he made an appearance at Survivor Series last year.
And he was also in the Hell in a Cell match. Like they utilized him in the Hell in a Cell, like where Reigns was kind of like beating him up a little bit or whatever it was. But,
yeah.
But like I guess. Well, I mean, I don't. I'll let you finish talking about this, and I guess I'll talk about like my thing with this show.
Let me see. Man, I really don't know how else. And the other thing I also wanted to preface with me saying, oh, this is the best main event in the past 6 years. I am not counting, like here we are, the live people back into the crowd and everything. So everything has to be good. No, 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 no. Taking that out of the picture, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I could watch this match 5 years from now and having a memory wipe of the pandemic and still say that this was a very good match. Okay, because the crowd was super hot throughout this entire match too. The crowd was fantastic. Okay, I really, and I know here we are, saying again, I just said, I don't want to talk about the pandemic and how, everything shouldn't be prefaced with that and everything. However, it makes a difference having this live crowd, but at the same time, I'm glad it was the size that it was and that it wasn't an actual full stadium. I'm not just for health's sake, okay? I'm just talking for my own entertainment purposes and production's sake. Because past WrestleManias where we've had full stadiums, I don't think it would have been this hot for this match.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I kind of got into this conversation with somebody on Twitter about that. Because they were kind of saying like, oh, you're complaining, blah 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 blah. It's like I'm not really complaining. Like night one's always gonna be a little different from night two. I go yeah, but like there needs to be like kind of either you have two nights or you do one night and keep it to 4 hours max, and you're very discerning about who you let on the card, because I feel like I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's like, it's like, well, you're the last winner, in terms of like, the WWE locker room, everybody gets a match. It's like Oprah's giving out matches on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't do that for any other show. And it's like, yeah, it would be nice to like, show your family, like, hey, I got your box seats at MetLife or Raymond James, and come see me, and like I'm going to be in the Battle Royal. It's going to be awesome. But
Yeah.
not everybody needs to be on the WrestleMania card, and for some reason, like yes, they have a lot of talent, but not everybody is deserving of a WrestleMania match.
No, not at all.
There's no reason. Like if this match was in a full stadium, chances are we would never have. This would not be on night two. This would be on the same night.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks would be somewhere in the middle of the card, and that moment would be totally diminished. As well as like Cesaro's win, as well as the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match, as well as a Bad Bunny's match as well.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you can get pumped up. Like WrestleMania 17. Like that was like a 3.5 hour, 4 hour show or whatever it was, but it built, and it was just long enough to keep the fans interested and excited to see Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Yes.
But if you did WrestleMania 17 and you were having, now we have to have a women's battle royal, and we need to have a men's battle royal, and we need to get Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly in a battle of the cousins and this and that, and all of a sudden WrestleMania 17 turns into an 8-hour extravaganza, it doesn't matter if it's Steve Austin and The Rock. You're not going to get that reaction. People are just too burned out. So, like, the days of the 7-hour, 8-hour WrestleManias have got to end. There's no way that this triple threat would get the same reaction. You're right, in front of a full stadium, because it would probably come after a 7-hour slog before that, including the kickoff show.
Oh yeah, and I really, really hope that next year's WrestleMania is a 2-night affair. I really hope that it is.
I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it because Doug, when they sent out that press release and said, oh, April 3rd, 2020, I'm sorry, April 3rd, 2022, Dallas, Texas, see you there. And I was like, oh, really? One night again? Oh, that stinks. But when they're doing the hype video, last night and tonight with Steve Austin, They always say the date of the next WrestleMania in the hype videos. It's always very telling, the stuff that they don't tell sometimes. And in this case, they didn't say April 3rd. They just said April 2022.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's interesting.
Well, I just looked up. Yeah, April the 3rd. Yeah, it falls on Sunday. You know, I was kind of hoping that I would look it up. Oh, wait a minute, that's on a Saturday.
Well, no, but they didn't say the date at all in the video. So right now, what you're looking at probably is like Wikipedia, which is using the old press release.
Right.
That probably doesn't have the updated information if and when they do release that. But man, like a 2-night WrestleMania, if we have to have everybody on the card, if this just has to be a thing that we do.
I think they're required. I think it's a requirement now. They have to.
I mean, like, there's no reason. I mean, and I started going to the WrestleManias. We both did. You know, like WrestleMania 28 was kind of long.
It was ungodly long.
Yeah, and WrestleMania 29 was even longer. And then I went to WrestleMania 30, and it's like, wow, 6 hours. I mean, yeah, the WrestleMania thing, like the crowd was hot for that, but there was a lot of dead time before that. And the Undertaker thing kind of woke everybody up too. Like, whoa, you know, like that's crazy. But man, when I went to WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, and like they're sending the Undertaker out there at like 11:30 or 11:40 at night for his first retirement match, like I wanted to be excited. I wanted to like the whole reason that we flew down there was because it was supposed to be Undertaker's last match. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this person walking down the ramp, you know, for his supposed final match. And I'm just like, oh God, I just hope this is quick. That's not what you should be feeling when you're there.
No, it isn't.
35. Did you know that Becky Lynch's reign as the Raw Women's Champion and the SmackDown Women's Champion technically is on April 8th, but that WrestleMania took place on April 7th because she didn't win the title until well after midnight, Doug.
Oh, that's right.
That's bullshit. Like, I couldn't wait to get out of there. I was just like, pin her. I don't care if her fucking shoulders up. Just get me out of here.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's just not, you know, for an historic women's main event, that's just not the feeling that you should be leaving the stadium with after spending hundreds of dollars on your ticket too.
No. I guess
that's not fair to them. That's not fair to the performers. So like, either be totally discerning about, you know, who you let on the card.
Yeah.
Or make it 2 nights. I think 2 nights is the way to go if we have to have everybody on.
This is not just about, you know, having them on for the sake of having them on. This is also about logistics. I don't think back at WrestleMania 28 that the WWE had a main roster of 165 performers. Okay, there's no way in hell you could cram 160 people into a pseudo 5 or 6 hour long show.
Right.
No way in hell. So to even think that we're still able to do that now, even on a 2-day event, I mean, I'll go through some names of some people that weren't on the 2 nights of WrestleMania, and you'll go, I'm fine with that. Rey Mysterio. I'm fine with that. King Corbin. I'm fine with that.
He actually, I think his appearance in the Snickers commercial was better for him than having a match in WrestleMania.
Yes. Even the tag team champs, you know, from SmackDown. You know, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler. Of course, everyone's going to have a cow about that. So, I mean, I can definitely understand why they aren't on the card, but it's not something that you should be upset about. You should actually, you shouldn't be shocked about it at all. And honestly, you should be glad it's just 2 nights and this is actually just a palatable show that you're able to digest easily instead of cramming everyone into one thing. It's almost like when you're watching a movie that's made based on a comic book or a video game or something like that, and you're constantly waiting for all of the characters to show up from the thing that you liked, and it turns out being shit. Okay, sometimes you don't need all of the characters to be on the show for it to be a good show. Case in point, we got this. Don't worry, Mike will show back up on your screens. I'm just setting all of this up because I know we have got to rant about this on the show. Because look, I know you guys had an awesome recap of night one, and I wish I could have been there with you guys to give you my lamentations on Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon. But since I was not able to have that time, I thought, though, that I would give Mike his time to talk about his favorite feud, his favorite program that's been going on now for upwards of 6 months, 7 months, something like that. Mike, I don't care if your camera's working or not, because I'm sure you're just flipping the bird on this right now. But
I think I'm back.
You could be back. You might be back.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But is your camera working?
Where's my camera?
I don't know where your camera is.
The heck?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm trying to fix this on the air, Doug. This is not really working out for me.
Yeah, I know. I try so many times. I don't know how I'm able to. I don't know. I guess that's why people. Yeah, it's not like it's a big deal or anything. And besides, I mean, who do you think we are? Adam Martin or something? I mean, geez, you think we try to have all this shit set up like for an hour and a half? I mean, if we did that, we wouldn't be on the air until, I don't know, Memorial Day weekend.
Wow, digs at Adam, man.
Hey,
I like it.
You take them when you can get them, okay? You take advantage of the time that you got and the spot that you got. All right.
Jeez, I got it. I might have to restart my Skype here. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Oh, that's fine. I'll let everyone stare at the Fiend emerging from a giant Jack in the Box.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. And pentagrams galore. As if we don't need more pentagrams. You know, way too many. We're trying really, really hard to be devilish here. Dear Lord. I've said it before when it comes to the Fiend character. It is a fantastic character, but not for professional wrestling. This is made for a graphic novel. This is made for a horror movie. This character was never meant to be in professional wrestling. The nigh invulnerability. There's Mikey. Is he back?
Here I am.
There he is.
Golly. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened there.
I don't know. It's okay.
So I heard everything. I know you want me to talk about The Fiend and Randy Orton.
Well, God, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is... the host is supposed to, agitate the bear. So, all right, come on, Snuggles. Do me a dance here.
Okay. First of all, it fucking sucked. And it had no fucking business opening the show. It shouldn't have been like nothing about it makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like the first thing that really kind of set me off about like how they overall designed this entire WrestleMania experience from, including night one and into night two. Cause I'm kind of thinking like they should just be kind of like symbiotic a little bit, like there should be some similar feeling here. I didn't get anything that they were doing. I don't understand why all of a sudden the fucking Fiend is no longer burned up, which I thought was his coolest asset. Like I was like, okay, well, I mean, the burn costume is kind of goofy, but you know what? Fucking go with it. Instead, and they brought back the red light, which everybody hates. It's like this entire match was designed to kill the crowd at the start of the show. It was like so strange.
This was like, gosh, how do I want to put this? The only analogy I can think of is we are getting psyched up to go to a sports bar. And man, it's going to be a big night of sports, man. You name it, all of the events are happening, like Kentucky Derby. There's a big baseball game going on. There's a golf match. All kinds of shit going on. Man, I can't wait. And you show up at the sports bar, and they got Fox News on the TV. It just makes you mad. Okay, they have CNN or MSNBC. You walk into the bar and it's the first thing you see, and you get pissed off. Okay,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Grash asking, where would I put this if you wouldn't start the show? I would never have put this on a show.
it wouldn't have been on the show. Period.
I never would have let this get as far as it fucking got ever. Yeah. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. What fever dream somebody got like their second dose of Moderna and then they forgot that they got it and got another dose of Moderna and they are in a fever dream, man. They are just shaking in their covers and they're like that's the kind of mindset you have to be in to like think that this is a good idea of a storyline. Now, how in God's green fuck earth, Doug, does it make any sense that Randy Orton's big idea is to get the Fiend out of his life? I'm going to murder this man and set him on fire. Oh, that didn't work. Let's have a wrestling match and drop him with RKO.
Let's have a wrestling match instead.
That's backwards. He should have set him on fire tonight.
I mean, this... I try to organize my thoughts here just because the Bray Wyatt character, not just the character, but the reception of Bray Wyatt even before The Fiend, when he first came to the WWE's main roster, I believe has constantly been mishandled by creative writing or booking. And it all started in that very first pay-per-view match that he had. Bray Wyatt versus Kane in an Inferno match. Why? Yeah. Too soon. Why are we making a big deal out of this so soon? That's how it's always felt with Bray Wyatt. And now even with The Fiend, it's too soon for so much stuff.
Everything was too soon.
Everything was too soon.
Right. Like, remember he had the one match against Finn Balor, and again, like I know we've talked about this in the past, but we loved that match, Doug.
Oh yeah.
That was SummerSlam 2019, and then all of a sudden it was like, some advertising leaked out for Hell in a Cell, and it's like, oh, the Fiend is going for the Universal title or whatever title was on Raw at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, really? That would be his second match on the pay-per-view, and it's like Seth Rollins and the Fiend, and it's like, okay, it's only his second match, like. You didn't want to build that up a little bit. You didn't want to do a little extra, and then it just started getting kooky. It's like, okay, this whole thing kind of happened organically over the summer, on a Raw over the summer. Like Bray Wyatt kind of came back and he was doing that Firefly Funhouse thing. It was like, okay, that's interesting. I'll give that a go.
When I first saw that, I was like, oh, I can dig this. Yeah. Having a demented Mr. Rogers type character, right? Oh, and totally dig it. Yeah,
absolutely. And he was doing like those little things, those like little subtle things that were like the things that you do to calm somebody who has PTSD. Like he was doing things with his hands that, like if kind of a little bit about psychology and stuff like that, you're like, wow, like there's some really deep thinking behind this character. I kind of like that. And then he did the workout video, and I was like, damn, this character is just hilarious. And then they debuted the Fiend costume. It's like, okay, it's a little goofy, but I'll get in. I'll get into this. And then I remember saying I clearly remember saying this to Victoria, they can only fuck this up.
Yeah.
They take everything good and then they overthink it. And by God, 2 months later, we got red lights in the Hell in a Cell. We got cartoon hammers, and he's kicking out of 17,000 stomps. And it was just all downhill from there. And it's never recovered from that. Every single step of the Fiend, since it got over on its own, has been overthought to death. They look at it as like a merchandising cash cow, and they just went way over the top with this thing, to the point where it's like he pinned him with an RKO. That was just in and of itself. Okay, just forget that he set him on fire in December and all. That's it. That's just like, that's it.
I'll tell you one thing. It's kind of hard to forget he set him on fire in December.
It's extremely hard.
That's going to be extremely difficult to do.
Do your damnedest to try.
That's going to be really hard.
What? Like just an RKO? This is the guy that kicked out of 17 million, stomps.
Curb stomps, but lost to Goldberg in the blink of an eye.
Right, right. Again, and another one and I talked about before. That one was like supremely disappointing too. It's like,
Yeah.
really, just a couple spears and a jackhammer. That's it.
But my thing is, I'm not. Let me see. First off, losing the match ending on an RKO, and him being distracted by whatever the fuck Alexa Bliss is. Sure, I'll buy it. Anything to end it is the way I was looking at. Anything to end this, I am for.
Mm-hmm.
However, after seeing what the distraction was, everyone going holy shit, and Wyatt distracted, RKO happens, it just further cements my opinion that this is not a professional wrestling character. This was never meant to be a professional wrestling character.
Not
this
at all.
was meant to be in a graphic novel. This is meant to be something else. There's going to be a spin-off of some kind. There's going to be a brand new television show somewhere on some other medium involving this character and all this wacky shit that's happening. Okay? Because this sure as hell is not professional wrestling by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and professional wrestling is a genre of entertainment, and in every genre there are boundaries.
Yeah.
That like you can push the boundary.
Oh yeah.
But you can't go beyond the boundary.
There are some thresholds.
And this is way past the threshold. Like you're right. It's ceased to be professional wrestling, and instead it's just some weird amalgamation of like a B-list horror movie and somebody's fever dream of like what they think a professional wrestling storyline is. I'm sorry, like I just can't get that. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know. I didn't get the Alexa Bliss thing. I didn't get the distraction. And to me, it's like the only reason that I was excited to see this match, the only reason I was excited to see it was because they said the D word, Doug. They said the D word a week ago on Raw.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's going to die in this match.
Yeah.
Now, they said die. And like what professional wrestling rule number 101 is don't deliver on something, or don't say something that you can't deliver.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think they're going to murder Randy Orton on television here. Just like I didn't think that they were really removing Rey Mysterio's eye. So it's like, if we can't suspend our disbelief enough to say like, okay, they're going to remove Rey Mysterio's eye, why do it in the first place? Like
Exactly.
everybody knows Randy Orton's not going to die.
Yeah.
But like, when you watch the story, it's like, oh, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you down. You're going to be hurting. It's like, yeah, I can believe that. It's like, I'm watching this show.
Someone's
it's like,
going to the hospital. I can believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But that's just way beyond. And then of course they do this match, and it's like a perfectly nothing match. There was nothing that's like, oh my God, Randy Orton almost died there. There's nothing. It was just there with the red light back. That was the one thing that they fixed that was good. Get rid of that fucking red light. And they brought that back to subdue the fans for whatever friggin' reason. It was like ridiculous. It was just bad.
My problem is I'm sitting here and, I'm the fantasy booking guy that I am. I'm sitting here going like, okay, what are we going to do? What are they trying to do here? Like, I always think of, okay, well, what's the next program for this person? How will they further this storyline? And WrestleMania is supposed to be full of resolution. Okay, we're supposed to be seeing lots of resolution. This, first off, I see this right here, and I am not thinking to myself, this will be explained on an episode of Monday Night Raw. This is going to be explained in the next graphic novel or next issue that I get in my subscription for the month, is what this is. In my next issue of The Fiend, Volume 4, I will read about what the hell this is. Because there's no way in hell that I would ever expect them to explain this on an episode of Monday Night Raw immediately following some random-ass women's match that has Peyton Royce in it. Okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's you kind of cut out there for like a second, but I get the gist of like what you're saying. But you're right. Like WrestleMania is supposed to be about resolution, and nothing was resolved tonight. And I thought that's the main problem that I have with this show, is that they had waited. We have waited, Doug.
Yeah.
All of us as fans that watch this product. I'm first and foremost, I'll always be a fan who gets to do a really cool thing and talk about wrestling, and people some for some reason want to listen to me talk about it. You know, like that's a cool job to have, Doug.
Please, please share and subscribe and like.
Please do, because we love what we do. Even though like I'll complain about some things, I love wrestling at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
We waited 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day, and we had fans yesterday in attendance.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I thought it was a really, really well put together show. The tag team turmoil match was the only thing that caused any turmoil in my life.
Yeah.
Everything else was great, and it went exactly how it should have went. But this night was almost like Empire Strikes Back. Like the only face that went over tonight was Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
You started off with the Fiend and Randy Orton, which historically, when you had crowds, nothing could really follow the Fiend because it kind of just like whatever you do afterward is stupid, because it's like, well, they just killed the art of professional wrestling in this match and destroyed every trope that you've come to know about wrestling. So it's like now it's just all right, back to watching simulated fighting after we just pulled the curtain back on the illusion here. It's so like that killed the crowd, like right away. They were subdued. I didn't think the tag match was as bad as everybody online said it was. I didn't think it was great, but I thought they worked hard, and I just kind of thought that if they opened up with like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, it would have built better. Maybe put the Fiend in there, Fiend and Orton in there as like the co-main event to the triple threat, because the triple threat was going to be good no matter what. So you could kind of put the Fiend and Orton there because it's a hole.
Yeah,
it's a hole in the show. There's no question about it. It's a hole. But as much as night one was kind of like a love letter to the fans, this one should equally have been that. And you should have wanted, at some point, to get these people that paid money and have been starved for wrestling. We've all been starved for a live crowd at a professional wrestling show.
Yeah.
And let them just leave with a good feeling. Who cares if it screws up the storylines? Okay? What would have been so bad about, number one, opening up with a match with a face going over, because on night one, because now it kind of bothers me that Drew McIntyre lost on night one. It's like that. I thought that was bad booking, but I was like, okay, Bobby Lashley kind of going over. Now that I've had a couple hours to think about it,
yeah,
I'm like, Bobby Lashley beat Drew McIntyre so decisively in that match. It's almost like, why did the Miz have to beat Drew McIntyre at all to win the title, and then Bobby Lashley beat him for the title? If they're trying to put Bobby Lashley over super strong, wouldn't have just made more sense to like let Miz fail on his cash-in, and then Bobby Lashley be named the number one contender, and then decisively beat Drew McIntyre anyway at WrestleMania? Like instead you have Drew McIntyre as the face chasing the title, losing decisively in the first match in front of a paying crowd in over a year. Now it just doesn't make sense to me. And then you open up tonight's show again in their sick, twisted minds, because they pressed the cheer button in the Thunderdome. The Fiend, in their opinion of the creative, which sucks, is that he is the face. I don't know how the fuck you could ever have anything to relate to with this person, with this thing, but it's a face apparently, because they pressed the cheer button on him. So he's a face. He lost. Okay, so another face loses in this, and then it's 7 matches. 6 of them ended with heels going over, and the main event not Roman Reigns didn't just beat one face, he beat them both decisively. So it's like, where do we go from here now with Roman Reigns? Like what else could you possibly do? Who could possibly beat him? And again, make it look believable. What would have been so bad, to have, because I was like, my God, look how many heels are going over on this show. I was like, Daniel Bryan's definitely winning. That was just my thought.
Yeah.
And that's okay to let that be your thought. Like they think that like if it's predictable, it's bad. Sometimes predictable is okay. Sometimes it's like, I want to see this happen. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what would have been so bad, because we're not going to have crowds, Doug, until maybe the fall.
Yeah, we're really not going to have any crowds anywhere, and we're talking indoor arenas.
Right.
Is where they would have to do this. I do not see any indoor arenas happening. Gosh, some people are saying the fall. I don't see it until next year.
I said the same exact thing. I said maybe like the road to WrestleMania, they'll have Royal Rumble again in a stadium, and then they'll start touring after that. Maybe 2022, first quarter 2022 might be the way to go there.
Yeah.
But you have this one opportunity to have a real crowd there making real noise without somebody pressing a fucking button in the Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear that big pop that we've been missing for so long. What would have been the big deal about having Daniel Bryan pin Edge or Edge pin Daniel Bryan and fireworks go off, the face is happy, everybody's happy, they're leaving happy, the internet's like, oh, the WWE did what we want, whatever it is. Like it's almost like we can't let the internet win. It's like, okay, so take the internet out of it. Just think about those people that have suffered through thunderstorms, rain, delayed start times. They went through a lot to get to the end, and COVID testing and the threat of COVID and leaving with COVID, and there's a lot of risk that these people put themselves at to be at this show. Give them the good feeling. This should have been a love letter. Each night should have been a love letter to these fans. And what would have been the problem with giving Edge the title or giving Daniel Bryan the title and closing out with the fireworks and the good feeling, and then just have Reigns fucking beat them on Friday if you're so anal about, oh, Reigns has to be the champion. That's fine. I love Reigns as the champion. But you're back to the empty arenas anyway tomorrow night. That Raw after WrestleMania, it's not the same, in the Thunderdome. As you're not going to get that same feeling that you had at WrestleMania Night 1 in the Thunderdome. So you're going back to the empty arenas anyway. Just fucking beat them there. It doesn't even matter. You won't. If you want cheering, just press the cheer button. If you want booing, press the boo button. For one night when people can make noise and let their opinion be known, just let us hear that big pop.
I guess mine, I kind of want to piggyback on yours, and in the meantime, I'm just showing Riddle and Sheamus just because, hey, man, I love it when we just have a knockdown bag of potatoes match. Okay.
Potato one, yeah.
Okay. But I want to kind of piggyback on yours for two reasons, and I definitely agree with, if you're ode to the wrestling fans, yes, I see your side of making the argument of doing stuff different, being an ode to the wrestling fans. That's your side. I will take the doing something different from the capitalistic scumfuck point of view.
Sure.
That doesn't give a shit about the fans. That cares about the money. Okay? And also, for lack of better terms, feeling a little lazy. So capitalism at its best is what I'm going to take here. Why wouldn't I want to just do whatever the fuck I want? Let's just juggle this up to all hell. Okay? Let's go in, let's have Edge get the title or whatever, or let's make this as random as a WrestleMania could be. The most random WrestleMania ever, with the results and stuff that you never thought would have happened. And I'm not saying, that we are always pro wrestling fans. We always crave the unpredictable is what we always crave. But I'm not saying that it's entirely unpredictable. It's just give us something different. Okay? Every result that I'm seeing on here, except for whatever the fuck graphic novel they wrote in the first match, every result that I see in here is not enticing me to watch their television show. Television ratings are down across the board in every way imaginable. Not just professional wrestling. Everywhere.
Yes.
Okay? And you're going to tell me that on your big show, your big main event, on the big new platform that you're on in the United States, they still have the WWE Network abroad. Okay? So it's just here in the United States. But you're telling me on your brand new platform, brand new everything, that you're going to leave me with results here that, you know what, I don't need to tune into SmackDown. Sure, it's on Fox. Sucks for them to be Fox. I mean, Raw, I'm looking right now on these results, and I'm just going to read off the Monday Night Raw results. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, Wyatt, yeah, we know. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. New Day losing the tag team titles to AJ Styles and Omos. Is that something looking forward to seeing on Monday Night Raw, and what's going to happen next?
It's a thing, you know, I'm it's a thing.
It's a thing. Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman. Do you want to see what they're going to be doing next with Braun Strowman after that?
Not at all.
What are they going to do with Miz and Morrison now that Bad Bunny's going to be going on tour? And, oh, God, do I feel sorry for Damian Priest. Oh, boy.
I feel sorry for Damian Priest just because he's Damian Priest.
Well,
I don't
also
really see much in that individual.
I got no problem tuning in to see Sheamus throw potatoes at people. Okay?
Yeah, that's always fun.
I got no problem with that. Drew McIntyre losing to Bobo Lashley. Maybe? I mean, I don't know who Bobo would be going against. I don't know what the heck McIntyre's going to be doing.
I mean, Bobo versus Braun Strowman is like a logical...
Bobo Braun is what it's sounding like.
And that, to me, Doug, that just doesn't sound like anything that I would want to see.
As much of a fan I was of Braun, something's happened, and I have to do some investigating on that.
I think the injury bug is just taking a lot from him. I think he's moving slower. He had that like blood disorder earlier this year.
Yeah,
like there's a lot that's slowed him down. Daniel Shell's thinking maybe Bobo Orton.
No. And then finally, Rhea Ripley defeating Asuka for the women's title.
Right.
Didn't we just have all the women going after the tag titles? Yeah, didn't we have all the women going after tag titles?
Yeah, it was Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and Naomi and Lana. Like, on a good day.
Yeah, we're praying for Becky Lynch to come back, is what you're saying.
Well, you know, like, I kind of talked about this. I've been talking about this for a while. It's like NXT needs to start churning out more women that can go to Raw and SmackDown. And number one, like, you can't just keep putting together some combination of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch and hoping and praying that she comes back and she's, you know, the same character that she was, because she was fading fiercely, you know, by the time she got pregnant. It was actually great that she got pregnant. It was like, I can't stand this character anymore. That's not what you want. You know, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, you know, it's like they're bringing back the Bella Twins because there's not enough talent on the current roster to run with that people would want to see, that people would tune into. Like, that's scary. Like,
yeah,
NXT needs to do their thing with Raquel Gonzalez and get her up immediately. You know, take the fucking title off her and just get her up here. Get Dakota Kai up here. Get Candice LeRae up here. I don't care if it cripples NXT's women's division, because that's not the point of NXT. Yes, they're a television show. You know, they're on USA. They're going to be on Tuesdays. They're going to be a standalone show. I'm sure they want to put their best foot forward, but they're not the main focus of WWE. NXT is still at the end of the day a developmental system.
Yeah,
and they have a solid lineup of women down there. Get them on Raw and SmackDown. Combine those two divisions and just let it go. Like, you know, just pump it up.
There,
you know, because this whole, you know, they keep saying the women's revolution. Oh, this person was at the forefront of the women. Well, it's dead. It's gone. There is no more women's revolution. It's, you know, when you have friggin' Naomi and Lana, you know, and Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan having a horrendous match on WrestleMania, like taking us back to like 2008 levels of shit. It's like, it's over. We've gone backward. Time to get these people up there. Let's go.
Right now, we're talking to a lot of big differences here with, NXT and between Raw and SmackDown. And my problem with NXT, and I've said this from the very beginning about NXT, and it's in every other federation. Yes, it caters to a different form of professional wrestling fans that still watch WWE but crave something else. Totally get it. But NXT, they don't focus on heels and faces. They just only focus on, here's a person, here's a name, here are things they do in the ring. That's about it. That's all they do. It's all it is trying to build up. How long will it take for people to know what your name is, other than knowing why you have that name and why is your name important? Like right now, there are so many times we make the complaint that this person from NXT was brought up way too soon. Way too soon, way too soon, way too soon. Or this person was brought up from NXT and they had nothing with them and they're floundering everywhere. Well, that's because they didn't establish anything. They didn't have any programs to establish what their character was or anything. It was just them to get in their reps. Is that all it was? Well, for fuck's sake, if they got in their reps, then what the hell were they doing before that? You want a solution?
Go on, Doug. Sorry.
I mean, I'll give you a solution. You want a solution to this whole thing? Juggle up all three rosters. Juggle up all three rosters. All of them. Juggle the whole damn thing up. Don't do a draft between Raw and SmackDown and occasionally sprinkle in some NXT names here and there that got their name recognition for being in the ring for a hot 4 months. Juggle the whole fucking thing up. The whole damn thing. Okay? Send the way to SmackDown. Okay? Send the Hurt Business split up in different ways. I would love to see Drew McIntyre go back to NXT. I would like to see Dolph Ziggler go to NXT. I would like to see a lot of the NXT people go to Raw and SmackDown, but without the same foils that were in the place that they previously were. That's been their problem with the superstar shake-up and juggle-ups that they do, is they don't really shake up anything. It's not like we're getting new programs and new rivalries of any kind, because fucking Sasha Banks is over there on SmackDown going against Ruby Wyatt and Liv Morgan like she did before. It's not like anything's juggled up on Monday Night Raw either, because I'm still getting the New Day going against the same goddamn tag team that's been there for the past 4 years. Okay, it's time to hook up a detonator, blow it up, and build these houses back together. Or something along those lines. A massive, massive shakeup needs to happen of some kind. And I'm not saying combine all the rosters. That's even worse. Okay? Don't do that. Just blow it up, build it all from scratch, is what it is.
Well, they have enough male talent where it's like you have to have separate rosters. You just have to. But the women, they don't have enough. It's always been that way.
Oh, the women, you can blow it up. Women, you can blow it up. You can
blow the fuck up out of that. It's like you just get it done. Like I said in kind of, I got, of course I caught flack from it on Twitter because people,
Well, you voiced an opinion on Twitter, Mike. I mean, come on.
Well, duh. But it's hard to get an opinion out in, whatever the character limit is on Twitter, 250 or whatever it is. Like I said, the women's division needs to go through a major refocusing and a major revamp, because that tag team turmoil match was a disaster, and that's the best that they can present. And those are all the challengers in waiting for Asuka and Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Bayley.
That was the entire women's roster, sans Peyton Royce.
And Lacey Evans,
who's got a tiny human in her stomach.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. And Charlotte Flair, like I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know when she'll be back.
I am not buying COVID. I'm saying it. I'm not buying it.
It came out. Andrade said this really bizarre story.
Yeah.
About the doctors determined that Charlotte Flair was pregnant through a test that they did, a blood test or something like that.
Sure.
She went and and this is like shortly before Andrade got released.
Mm-hmm.
So they immediately removed her from all advertising for WrestleMania. Like
Right.
that was very abrupt. She was on the advertising
yeah.
for WrestleMania and gone. It turns out that Charlotte Flair wasn't pregnant. She took multiple tests, and then they're like, "Well, sorry, like you're not on WrestleMania or something like that." And he's claiming it has something to do with her relationship with him and stuff like that. And who knows? But there's more than meets the eye there.
Yeah.
Like there's some, I don't know where they get some of these WWE doctors. It's like, like I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan in the world, but it's like, where did some of these guys get a medical license here?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's something there, and everybody's hoping that Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch come back and be the saviors, but Ronda's gonna have another year run, and then she's gonna run through everybody, and then it's right back to, because that's what happened. She ran through everybody, and then it's right back to where we started. Like Becky Lynch had a good run as well, but then she got pregnant, and now it's and she was fading. Her star was just fading.
She jumped that shark hard.
Oh,
Okay, she jumped over 5 sharks. Okay,
right. When she was wearing the crown, looking like the female Elton John, I was like, okay.
That's why I was calling her the meme. Is what I was calling her. Okay.
I had enough. I was like, when she announced she was pregnant, I was like, that's the best thing for her.
Yeah.
That's really. But
when it comes to the women's roster,
it can't just be like 6 or 7 people and making combinations of them. You need to have more. There just needs to be more. There needs to, because you can't have any dream matches, because every match has to happen at some point, and they might all happen in 1 month.
Well, the problem is, it's almost like we've already had them.
Yeah, every match that could be done has been done.
Yeah,
you have Rhea Ripley up there now, so there's a couple of untapped matches, but how many? And honestly, after the performance she had against Asuka tonight, it was not a star-making moment for Rhea Ripley.
No. And on top of that, it's, if you want an argument about why, and the Ronda Rousey save us argument doesn't work, it's happening right now with Rhea Ripley. That's what she is. She's the savior. She's coming in, and now just one antibody to fight off this virus that is complacency within women's programming, is what it is. You need more than just one. But the thing is, you better have some strong antibodies to bring into this to fight this problem. NXT, I'll be honest, doesn't have it right now. They don't have it. Io Shirai stinks. I said it. Dragon Ball Z sucks. Everyone come at me right now.
She's coming up too.
Your waifu sucks. Okay? She sucks. All right? Really? All right? You're expecting her to do good things? Nah, she's just another Shane McMahon from Japan that wants to fall off shit. That's all she does. Okay? Who else? Raquel Gonzalez? I've got Rhea Ripley. Don't need Raquel Gonzalez. I don't want to cause any confusion between who the Aussie and the Mexican are. Okay? You better make sure their name is on their tights, because no one's going to be able to figure it out. Who else is over there? I'm not splitting up the Way. I'm not splitting up Lorraine Hartwell. That act is way too good right now on NXT. I can't split that up. No way in hell. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter, I could bring in as a tag team, but on their own, they stink. That ain't happening. Xia Li, I need another year to build her up in her character. I still need to work on her shit in the ring.
And you bring that act up to Raw or SmackDown, all of a sudden that the thing, Tian Sha or whatever the name is.
Yeah, Tian Sha. She's got to make her debut.
Yeah, but all of a sudden she'll be she'll be the female Bray Wyatt before you know it.
Yeah, she'll be the female Fiend. Wouldn't that be great? Oh boy. So it's not like greener pastures are on their way here.
Right.
Okay. It's just, we feel more like we have to do this anyway because we've run out of all other options. Okay, and please don't get on me about, oh, Doug, Io Shirai doesn't suck. Don't worry, you got a new waifu coming up in Saray in NXT. Okay,
Right.
so you'll be okay. I just want strong women destroying dainty women that everyone is attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want, and maybe that's all I hope for in women's wrestling. We can't solve everyone's problems, but I know one thing that can always solve our problems, and that's a Nigerian drum match without the use of drums.
Yeah, what was that about?
Why did they use the table that was folded up along the end of the barricade instead of just swiping the drums off the tables that were already unfolded?
I don't know. And they did knock over some drums to get that table in the ring. It's like, well, couldn't we just get like one drum going over somebody's head?
Biggie, why the fuck didn't you just grab one of those drums and just beat on it after you sent Cruz careening through the steps or something? What kept you?
Those are great questions. But my real question was when I saw this whole entire thing happen was, could you get anybody looking less Nigerian than Dabba-Kato in a Nigerian soldier's uniform?
Okay. Yes, we have got. Okay, I got to bring it up. You go right ahead. I've got to find him. Oh God, Dabba-Kato.
Okay. So, oh my God, first of all, like Dabba-Kato, for those not in the know of what that is, and believe me, there actually are some people that have forgotten about Raw Underground. I wish that I was one of them. Dabba-Kato was the guy that was like running through everybody. He was like Shane's guy. He even got drafted in the.
He was drafted to SmackDown.
Was he drafted?
No, he was drafted to Raw. He stayed on Raw.
Right. Well, now he's on SmackDown, but now it's now nobody knows his name. He's never been seen before. Who is this beast? It's like, oh God, like why do we have to do this? Like what? It's like Mia Yim under the mask. Everybody knows it's Mia Yim. When the mask fell off, they had to still pretend that they didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
I hate, it's like, I don't like being have my intelligence insulted. It's like, why can't we just say like, oh my God, Dabba-Kato is, or give him a new name, or just say like, oh, isn't that the guy from Raw Underground or something like that? But anyway, we have Dabba-Kato from Raw Underground as, I guess, I don't know what he's gonna be. I looked it up online. Okay, so WWE trademarked a new superstar name today, I think.
Okay,
or the other
today.
day.
Okay, if you can't say it.
No, it's Commander Azeez.
Commander Azeez.
A-Z-
Randy just brought it up in there. There's Goose. Yeah, Commander Azeez. Commander?
Oh, there you go. Commander Azeez. Yep.
Is it Commander? He doesn't. Yep. I question his rank. Okay, is that okay? First off, I got no problem with Azeez. Okay, I got no problem with that. My problem is, does he really need a rank? I mean, does he really need a rank? And if I'm going to give him a rank, he doesn't strike me as a commander, nor a general. Okay.
Well, I also thought the same thing as for General Adnan. When he started to start, I was like, he doesn't look like any general that I would imagine.
You need to make sure you pick a title that's never been used. Okay. You had Admiral. I'm thinking of Akbar. Okay, like Admiral Akbar, General Admar. Sergeant Slaughter. We've had sergeants. Okay, yeah. Corporal Kirshner. We've had corporals.
We had major.
We had major guns.
I know we had major guns.
We had major guns, so we can't have a major. Have we had corporal?
General Rection.
General Rection. Yeah. Have we had a corporal?
Corporal Kirshner.
Corporal Kirshner. Yeah.
We had a private.
I'm very sure we did have a private. Wasn't there a private in that really horrible WCW trope?
I think so.
Private Parts. Something like that. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's how far we had to go for that. Yeah. Goose saying Colonel Azeez sounds good. Yeah. I just don't know if I would give him a title. I understand. I get what they're going for. Okay, I totally get what they're going for. Okay, My problem, though, is it white pants and green jacket that just doesn't match right? And do we need the shoulder flarings like that?
It's gonna be like Baron Corbin's vest. It's like I don't know. It like to me, like now that I've seen this name, I've seen that they trademarked this name, Commander Azeez. I'm like,
there you go, Nafis, giving the good ones. Brigadier. There we go. Goose going magistrate.
Magistrate. Yep.
Brigadier General. There you go. You do Brigadier General Azeez.
Yeah, Rear Admiral Azeez.
Oh, there you go. I do go Brigadier General Azeez, but just call him BGA.
Or Commandant.
Ooh, Commandant. Yeah.
I like Commandant Azeez.
Commandant. Okay. Yeah, it sounds better than Commander.
I think that'd be great for Apollo Crews with his new accent to say Commandant a bunch of times.
For the next 3 weeks, you're going to hear that word said differently every single week.
I think. Exactly.
I am so a fan of Apollo's newfound accent, especially during the hype video for this match, where he sounds normal, and then suddenly he came to America. Yeah. Okay, now this is the stupid stuff I kind of like with wrestling. Okay, I mean, we sit here and poke fun at all and everything, and we're supposed to make feel like you can't remember what you had for lunch today. But look, this is the fun, stupid stuff that I kind of laugh at and do like to see. Not Bray Wyatt, not that shit. This is the stupid shit I like.
Right. See, like the only thing, the only reason I didn't like that they didn't at least say that he was from Raw. They did absolutely nothing to change his look whatsoever.
None. From
Dabba-Kato from Raw Underground to General Sneeze, whatever his name is, Azeez. It's like we couldn't even shave his head.
I would have shaved his head.
Yes.
I would have shaved his head. I would have given him a fake tattoo on the top of his head, like Bam Bam Bigelow or something.
Absolutely. Give him something.
A tribal tattoo of some kind taking place of that mohawk or something.
Right. Like make him look like he's like a guerrilla warfare guy.
Yeah.
Or put him in like a little cap or something like that. Like a Che Guevara hat or something like that.
Yeah. And I guess the colors are throwing me off too, and everything. And here we are, I feel like Joan Rivers on the red carpet or something like that right now.
Yeah, it just looks like he they went to the store and it's like, all right, we need to find a costume for this guy. And it's like they went to Spirit Halloween and it's like, okay, well this one fits you. Let's go. WrestleMania time, brother.
Actually, it looks like they probably went into they actually went through the closet of the theater department over there at Full Sail University, and they went, oh shit, this is a really big guy. What's the only thing that's going to fit him? All right, this is as big as we got. Throw it on him.
Exactly.
I'm curious, okay? This is just the beginning. I'm sure it's going to be better, okay? But does this mean that Big E now goes after Roman Reigns for the Universal title? Not so much. No. This program's going forward.
It's got to go forward, and again, it's like, it's. I mean, I'd love to see Big E go for the title, but it's just not time yet. When I was watching this match, I was like, this doesn't feel like it's even close to time. Like Big E's not there yet.
No, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. And I guess finally the last thing we do have to talk about on the show, and I've just been glancing over it, and maybe I'll find the gifs of it again, but you kids like potatoes? Have you haven't had enough starch in your diet today for this entire WrestleMania week? Then, oh boy, watch you some Sheamus and Riddle. There's some potatoes for you. Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was fun. It's like we kind of knew at Elimination Chamber when we did Wrestleview live that this like Keith Lee was supposed to be in that triple threat match. It's like everything pointed in the direction of Keith Lee getting that title. So when you're like when Keith Lee was removed from the card and mysteriously disappeared, we've never like he was on some post takeover show. I saw him like their interview. He looked fine. I was like, why
Mm-hmm.
is Keith Lee not being utilized? Is it, like what's going on there? I really want to know. I need to know. If somebody in the chat room knows what's going on with Keith Lee, I'd love to know. But like when you're the the runner up to winning the title, you're not going to hold it for all that long.
No.
And I knew Sheamus and Sheamus has been doing terrific work. Like he sold me on the Drew McIntyre storyline. I initially thought I gave up on that in November when they just started shoehorning this friendship that was never talked about before.
I am so glad they found something for him post Jeff Hardy. I'm so glad. I was worried. I was really, really worried.
Absolutely. And no one's had a better 2021 than Sheamus, really. Like he really emerged again as like a top star.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been meandering for quite some time, and the clock is ticking on this guy. He's got spinal stenosis. I think he's 44 years old.
He's up there.
He's up there. It's like at this point, it's like you want to get one more good run out of him. They did a lot with him and Drew. They did a lot with him, and I loved the Lashley matches that he had. He's been a great character this year, and I was happy. I was glad that he got the U.S. title. I want to see him be a beast and potato the fuck out of the mid card. I think it's gonna be great.
Inevitably, when Keith Lee shows up, him and Sheamus going after that title, sign me up. Just sign me up. I wouldn't mind seeing Sheamus and Braun Strowman. That sounds like a fun one to me.
Actually, that sounds great.
That sounds like that sounds like a fun one right there.
Right.
And actually, that sounds like a fun one. Well, yeah, we can do a lot of things with Sheamus with a mid-card title. There are a lot of things we can do with that. And also kind of keep that on him leading into whenever you want to do your wacky-ass superstar shakeup or draft or whatever you want to do. So now you've built him up so much that if you want to give him his send-off, you send him off to SmackDown and you give him his final goodbye in a major title over on SmackDown or something like that.
Hey, you know what else they can do? I mean, if you really want to kind of give the U.S. title a little bit of a shine, Drew McIntyre was beat so decisively that it's almost like, maybe does Sheamus like kind of mock him tomorrow night on Raw and say like, well, look who has a title and look who doesn't have a title.
Oh, you could just go up to, oh, fella, I feel so sorry for you. I'll tell you what, let me give you something you can have here. The payback's coming up. Let's go one more time. Something like that.
I'd love to see that.
And and you can see a McIntyre swerve out of that. I can see Sheamus as a face doing that and said like, look, man, good hard times, been hard times. Let's have a match together. And McIntyre just goes like, who the fuck are you to do this? And oh man.
You can actually have a lot of fun with this. You really can. And I've been a big Sheamus fan for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just glad to see him get like a little love here because he's been an unsung hero for quite some time. Like the Bar. He sold everybody. Him and Cesaro sold us on a tag team that they were just kind of put together just to have something to do for these guys, and they wound up being a great tag team. They had a great best of 7 series. Sheamus has been doing a lot of good things under the radar for a few years. I'm happy to see that 2021 kind of got him back to where he should be. Andrew Elder mentioning that. So it was reported. Or it kind of came out, PW Insider said that like Money in the Bank would be happening in May, which is traditionally how it's been going anyway.
Right.
And Backlash would happen in June. Now, instead, they've kind of flip-flopped them. They're calling it a WrestleMania Backlash.
WrestleMania Backlash, yeah.
And when they said that, I was like, my God. They had this WrestleMania in front of, again, it's just kind of like all the wheels in my head. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe like this is like something that they decided to do. They have a WrestleMania in front of a live crowd with that you could pay things off on. Instead, they built these matches like there's no resolution. Like we were talking before about resolution at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's no resolution. It seems like they're building everything up that the resolutions will happen at WrestleMania Backlash in May in front of no fans.
In front of nobody. So they can control what the reactions will be.
It's so strange. It's so
and I kind of like how, Randy kind of brings it up there. You guys said nothing tonight made you want to watch tomorrow. Now it sounds like you salivated about what could happen starting tomorrow. No,
well,
not
we
necessarily.
worked ourselves into a shoot.
Yeah. We kind of did that, But we know a lot of the things that we're talking about are way later down the line. I am not looking forward to tomorrow night's episode of Monday Night Raw.
No, I'm not. And the thing that I'm salivating over, the thing that we're salivating over is just Sheamus just fucking some guys up in the mid card. Like, you'll notice very clearly that there's not a lot about other aspects of the card that we're salivating about. It's just Sheamus.
Yeah, it's just Sheamus. We want Sheamus just giving people bloody lips. Right. That's all we ask for.
I mean, if you see. I'll let me see if I can find the video of that kick, because that was he actually initially I thought it was, here it is, just type in Sheamus Riddle on Twitter and it's like the first thing that pops up. It just says, "My goodness, Sheamus destroyed Riddle in midair with a brogue kick." He caught him under his chin. I think he bit like part of his tongue off. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure all I have to do is just Sheamus Riddle brogue kick. Of course, my thing runs a little sluggish because I'm streaming to you guys, and I've got Mikey coming in here on my feed, so it might take a little longer. Let me see. Sheamus Briggy rogue kicky bringy thingy. I'm doing this live. This is called entertainment. Yep, there we go. Italio Santana, you're a godsend.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Italo God Santana.
Because initially I wasn't convinced that the brogue kick connected. I thought it was more of a knee to like the mids to like the chest.
It looked like
then
his
when they
toe,
showed Riddle all bloodied up, I was like, wow.
It looked like his toe got shoved into his pie hole.
Well, actually, I think it kicked him like right at the tip of the chin, and he just snapped it. Ooh. Mm-hmm. That's not a fun way to spend your Sunday night right there.
No, it is not. That just tells you should wear shoes when you go to work. All right. So we covered all of night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think we got it
all.
Although the Rhea Ripley Asuka thing, I mean, I just didn't understand. Like, it was dead.
Oh yeah.
And there was really nothing that like could have really burned the crowd out from before that, and they were just working at a very slow, dull, boring pace. Like I was expecting like a big star-making moment for Rhea Ripley. I really thought they were going to like do something where, because she's been kind of like showing up Asuka, not looking at her, beat her up, in the lead into this WrestleMania and stuff like that.
Right.
I was thinking like, well, maybe she's in Asuka's head. Maybe they just have her go over Asuka quickly, and just do a star-making moment there. Instead, she's like, slowly and methodically punching her in the corner. I'm like, so this lady who's wearing, little pins everywhere on her body, and she, got the interesting haircut and the makeup and all that stuff. And it's like she's going the slow, methodical route. She should be killing her.
Yeah, should be absolutely destroying.
Yeah, I was like, where's that star-making moment that I really thought was going to happen for Rhea Ripley, and why is she a heel, and like what's going on?
I didn't know what anyone's mode was. I did not know who the face or the heel was. The only thing that I really grabbed from the hype video, that was, yes, I've been watching the television. I know what's going on and everything, but when you're watching WrestleMania with fans, you only think of the hype video is what gets people to watch the match. Hype video airs, and the only thing that resonated with me was Asuka trying her damnedest to speak English and was obnoxious as all hell on the microphone, and Rhea just flips the table right into her face. That's where I go, that's what should be this match. is Asuka dancing around and smiling and underestimating Rhea, and Rhea just goes to town on her.
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
I was thinking this should have been. But instead,
I like that, yeah.
it was a typical Monday Night Raw match that would have happened any time. There wasn't any particular segment or set or spot in the match that is anywhere along the lines of what happened with Belair and Banks. Okay,
Right.
to where Belair broke out the hair whip that she hadn't used in a very long time. Okay, I'm not saying that Ripley had to do something along those lines, but something memorable had to happen in that match for it to mean something. Nothing out of the way happened, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there was nothing special about it. It was just a match. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. It just felt like this is just this is a regular Raw match.
Here's our title match.
Yep, here it is. Enjoy. Some people are saying it's like that's it's just they got the diva spot before the main event spot. It's well, but you know what? Like if there was hot matches that preceded it, that's of course you could use that as an excuse to say like, okay, well they were the cool down match, but there was nothing hot before that. It's like
no, there wasn't.
I thought it was a little bit of a mistake to book that match that way. And I also, if there's one thing that I want to see die in wrestling, and really it's a thing that only exists in WWE, is the notion of a cool down spot in the card.
Yes.
If you can get control of your roster and get your producers talking to each other so the right hand knows what the left hand is doing, you won't have 15 finisher kickouts in the first match that hurts the reaction later on when you're doing 15 finisher kickouts in your main event. If you can get every match to just kind of build off of the last one and off the last one, off the last one, you'll crescendo to a really nice main event, and people will be hot throughout rather than like, okay, here's 2 good matches and now take a piss.
But also, don't do what NXT is doing and having every one of your matches be the same structure. Okay?
But that's WWE. Everything in WWE is the same structure.
No, I mean same structure. I mean every NXT match on a takeover, even if it's an unsanctioned match, has your 3 minutes of masturbatory mat work, and then we do 4 or 5 suicide dives. Then we get back in the ring to do the New Japan Strike Exchange at minute 12, and then we do finisher kickouts for another $1.50, and then you finally get your ending. There's no such thing as DQ finishes in NXT. That's the bad thing. There are no DQ finishes. There are no run-ins. There aren't anything like that. So don't do what NXT does either, to where it's just the same thing throughout, and your crowd, if they're hyped up for it and everything, it's because they're conditioned to it.
Right.
So
there's a lot that they can do. There's a lot of stuff that I want to see happen. I want to see a revamp of the women's roster. I want to see, a couple of those tropes, like every match has to have a suicide dive, and every match has to have the masturbatory wrestling. Just we're gonna now it's the time. Like even in the main event yesterday for Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, it got to that point in the main event, and it's like, okay, Sasha's got to do her roll-up spot now.
Here's their homage to fucking Eddie Guerrero. Here we go.
Yeah, or Ricky Steamboat and Savage. It's like, I have every women's match has that spot. It's like every big women's match has that spot where it's like, okay, it's time to trade pins. It's like, it's stupid. It never works for me. It's like there's a couple of like little nitpicky things I want to see go.
Yeah.
But there's some big things that need to be changed, and maybe like after last night and seeing a lot of those unscripted promos, because of the rain delay, please, for the love of God, just let it happen. Just take a chance on a few people, just as a trial run. Do like half scripted, half written.
Don't
see what happens.
Try not to think too much. Sometimes honestly, when a lot of you become adults and you have relationships, sometimes the worst sex you ever have is when you overthink it. Just it happens naturally. And sometimes those are the best. What do I think that we need right now? I just want Sheamus beating up people.
Yes.
I want Walter beating up people. I want Braun Strowman beating up people. I want Bobo Lashley beating up people. I want what... God damn it, that's why I made the sounder. You know?
Big meaty man slapping meat.
I want big meaty men slapping meat. That's what I want. That's all I want.
Right.
Okay?
And I'll tell you one more thing that I want as well. I want everybody to do their part, get your vaccine, and wear a mask so we can get people back in the stands.
Yes.
That's what I want really, really badly.
Yes. I guess that's WrestleMania, these 2 nights of WrestleMania made us realize how all the complaints that we've had about crowds in the past, about like, oh God, it's the Northeastern crowd. Ah, crap, it's the Chicago crowd. Ah, damn it, they're in Des Moines. They don't know what the fuck's going on. You know?
And, oh crap, it's WrestleMania and the Europeans are in town.
Oh crap, they're going to London. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh, fuck, they're in Canada. Oh, fuck, FML. I'm going to watch something else. Okay, all the stuff that we always complained about crowds for, we've also taken the act of the crowds completely for granted. And also the performers perform better when they have a live crowd. They perform way better when they get actual feedback.
Yep.
So, and actually, you get a way better show when you have actual feedback. So,
here's an interesting thing too. You know, you talk about feedback. You know, and I complain about somebody pressing the goddamn cheer button and the boo button and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I catch like the WWE story on Instagram, and they'll have somebody in the arena taking like a video of something that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear a pin drop. I don't think they actually pump the crowd noise through the speakers there.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Silence.
No, they don't. It is actual silence.
That's weird.
It is. That is absolutely what they do. I know that they do that because if they actually heard what they piped in, their beats and their scripts would be way different than what they are right now. And I'm going to tell you, it's the one reason where, seriously, when it comes to the WWE product, I watch it on mute. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's bad. It's
and
really
they've gotten
bad.
super cringy with like, you know, you deserve it. This is awesome. One more match. It's like, oh God, like.
Yeah. Even NXT, where they have actual people, I mute that too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But the company itself, piping in "this is awesome" chants and "you deserve a" chant. It's like owning your own company and giving yourself a promotion. It's like, and then you're like, I earned that. It's like, no, you gave it to yourself. It's like so weird. I don't know, it's just creepy to me.
It's like taking a scoop of ice cream and putting it in a bowl. Look at me, I got ice cream. Yeah, you put it in the fucking bowl.
Exactly.
Okay.
Dougie.
You know, you heard a lot about what we thought and everything, but what the hell did everyone else think? Wrestleview poll night 2. Thumbs up or thumbs down? All right, before we go, yes, absolutely. It's always thumbs up and thumbs down. It's never in the middle. Take a stand, pick a side, grab a pair, have a pair. Mike, up or down?
Tonight's show, the main event was so good, but I mostly did not like the rest of this card. I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
I give it a thumbs down.
I give it a thumbs down. I wanted more love for the fans.
Well, dude, this is WWE. Fuck your feelings.
I know.
You got your money. That's all we care about. Okay.
I know.
So from that aspect, I give it a thumbs up. No, actually, no. I'm giving it a thumbs up. Yes, there were some things that were not so good. You know, yes, the Fiend shit, the women's tag team matches. But you know what? Give me Sheamus delivering baked potatoes twice over.
Indeed.
Give me wacky shit happening in a Nigerian drum fight. which I did find comical, and then give me a fantastic main event, and I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just glad that it was only 6 matches and not 16. That's
Me too.
my thing. Oh, what did everyone else think? I'm clicking thumbs up. What did everyone else think? Wow. about 57% gave it a thumbs down.
Yeah, it's a polarizing
Wow.
show. Last night it was about, I think it was like 88% thumbs up.
Wow. Well, I think it's only because they were on the high of all this history. All this history.
Like, I didn't get wrapped up in that. I just thought, like, from top to bottom, it was mostly, except for the Drew McIntyre thing. Now that I've had some time to kind of think about it, it was mostly a really well put together card. You know, and other than after the tag team turmoil match, kind of like I was talking about before, you know, every match built on the last one.
Yes.
So when you got to the main event, it was like, I'm excited for this main event now because I want to see the stuff that I didn't see yet.
No, I got you. Where this one was kind of disjointed a little bit.
It's extremely disjointed. I mean, when you start anything with the Fiend is automatically going to really it impacts the next couple matches. It does.
Yeah. And I got Quentin in there saying Stand and Deliver was better. Night 2 of Stand and Deliver was not that great.
I only liked the ladder match. That was it.
The ladder match was great, but after that, oh God, fuck Kyle O'Reilly for the life of me.
Oh, that was too much. That had like Roy he recapped that one and he put on Twitter he said like this had no business going 43 minutes.
It was over 40 minutes. Oh God.
Yeah. And I watched it. I actually never finished watching it. I couldn't do it. I was bored. I really was. I was like, I gotta go to sleep. And then once I turn it off, I'm not gonna start a match halfway through. It's over. That's gonna sit in my queue forever as the unwatched event.
And of course, my match of this entire week was Walter versus Tomato Chomper, because that was a great, well written match.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Well-written match. Gosh, and you know, and I'm not saying that's what I want all my wrestling to be or anything like that, but it told a great story. Just as much, and I'm looking through the card, like just like how Cesaro Rollins told a great story last night. Other ones that I'm just looking down through the card here. The main event tonight told a great story.
Yeah. That either that match or the Bad Bunny match is going to be my match of the weekend, believe it or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Bad Bunny match was definitely.
I can't say enough good about Bad Bunny.
I can't say enough good about Miz and Morrison.
Yes.
My Lord. Are you kidding me? Oh,
they get it.
Oh. Miz, constant professional. The consummate professional.
Victoria will like to hear you say that.
Yes, he is. He is. Almost the best damn professional wrestler out there. He just needs to do a suicide dive, and then we might acknowledge him. I don't know. Oh, man. I'm spent. Are you spent?
I'm spent. I gotta get to bed, man.
I gotta get to bed too. Mikey, closing us out. You're doing the thing on the post Raw tomorrow night, following the Monday Night Raws.
Yep. Me and Victoria will be back after the legendary Raw after WrestleMania. We will be back for post Raw. So make sure you tune into that shortly after the conclusion of Raw, and we hope and pray that our little Fiend will be asleep so we have no delays. And then I'll be recapping NXT on Tuesday as well, just because it's the first one that they're having on Tuesday. I'm happy about that because my birthday is on Wednesday, and I don't want to recap on my birthday. So
there you go.
It's all good. Even though I really don't care about my birthday anymore. Once you get past like 25, it's like it just starts to like meh. I don't need to keep celebrating this shit. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, mine ended after like 21. After 21, I was like, no, screw it. Everything else sucks after this.
Yeah, no. like 25 was a big one for me because I plan on living till 100. I hope I can. But I was like, oh, that's my quarter life crisis right there. So.
No, it was after 21. I was like, no, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing. Every birthday I have after this is not going to be a celebration.
Right. There's nothing to look forward to. You're like, okay, now I can legally drink. Now I can,
Oh, boy. Hey,
whatever.
look, my ARP card came.
Yay!
All right.
That's next thing you have to look forward to. That's it. That's it. You have to wait another 30 years for the good stuff.
Mikey, he'll be over post Raw for Monday night, covering Monday Night Raw. And then actually on Friday after SmackDown, Roy will be right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel covering the aftermath of SmackDown.
Indeed.
And he will be doing that. And then you can tune in to see me on Sunday, where I'm going to recap stuff that's happened throughout the week, go over the headlines and stuff of the news. The milk carton, the WWE milk carton, you would think dwindled down because everyone showed up at WrestleMania. Well, look, just because Daba Kato isn't there anymore doesn't mean that he counted for the other 30. So, no, the WWE milk carton is alive and well. And I think we're going to have a little hangover episode. Because I think we're going to have a little bit of a hangover from all this. And so we need to, have some strong black coffee, have a greasy egg McMuffin, and try to get over what the hell just happened in the past. Actually, and we're talking programming here, the past 28 hours of WWE programming. We've got to try to sort all of that out. So tune into that. In the meantime, also subscribe, like, share, do all the other things that you do on the social medias, because you are way more knowledgeable about that than I am, even though I just told you to do it. I don't know what the hell I'm really doing. Just subscribe to us. We're pretty cool. You don't ask for much.
We do our best.
We try
I hope
hard.
you like this.
We try hard as long as we push the button. Know what we're doing. Think? Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by, checking us out. Really appreciate it. Wear a mask. Don't be an asshole. Think of others before yourselves. The biggest one of all of them. Know when you're being sold to.